Hey guys.
Hey.
Are we
Guys, we're recording. We're going.
I kind of messed it up.
You messed it up.
You remember the old days when we would just kind of start recording and
just start talking?
Today is the old days.
You remember the old days when I wasn't sick?
I don't think you've ever been not ill.
I'm the illest.
You are the sickest.
Guys, welcome back to your favorite sick podcast. I'm your host, Timon.
And I'm your host, Lincoln. And
this is the Timon and Lincoln
Show. This is the Timon and Lincoln Show. And Timon, today's Friday, and that means questions. And I've got one very important question for you.
Holla at your boy.
How you feeling?
Sick, bro. Today has been the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see it. I'm heading towards it. My mind is still a little foggy. Things are not as clear as they probably should be. But I'm moving. I'm making my way downtown. Yeah,
watching the people seeing the no. Because who knows?
I missed you.
Yeah, who actually knows all the words? Some people. I imagine some people listening probably do.
Yeah.
Man, it's Friday.
It's Friday, man.
I'm so glad it's Friday. But today is Thursday.
You like how you did that? You said, "Man, it's Friday," and I said, "It's Friday, man." We're like flip-flopped. Also,
what did we say?
Listeners, you should watch the video because we're both wearing black today.
Oh yeah.
I saw Lincoln put on this black shirt, and I went and changed my green shirt into a black shirt. That's not true. That was Lincoln. You had a green shirt on.
Were we both wearing green shirts? So I was working on... I was tinkering around with my bike outside. I've gotten a lot of rewardingness. I've really enjoyed... I've been doing more bike tinkering.
Yeah.
This season compared to last season. Last season I got my bike and just kind of rode it.
Yeah.
And I've been messing with it and taking things apart, re-greasing stuff, putting it back together.
Cool stuff to your bikes.
Cleaning it. Just I really like kind of making things, working on things, and bikes are way cheaper to do things to and work on compared to cars.
You've learned your lesson.
Here's the thing about cars: you can spend $10,000 on parts for a car and still have kind of a crappy car.
Yeah,
like you can throw lots of money at automobiles and have a bunch of things that don't actually matter on them.
Yep.
Bikes, you can do the exact same thing, but it's like a couple $100 versus like a couple $1,000. So I've been messing around, and that's what I was doing before this podcast. You were doing some things, and so I thought I would go outside and be outside in the sweltering hot heat and work on one of my bikes. So I was messing around, changing some stuff.
Yep, and then you changed your shirt.
And then I took my sweaty shirt off and put this non-sweaty shirt on.
Black shirt on.
But listeners, I want you to know something. I'm still just as sweaty and smelly underneath. Did not shower.
Such a good metaphor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't shower either. I just took a bath.
Nice.
Nice.
I had a pretty stressful day. Not
really?
Gonna lie. Thursday, yeah.
Thursday equals stress.
I'm not gonna go into too many details on the podcast because it's work related, and I don't like to drop a lot of work deets.
Right.
But I had a stressful meeting that I had to be a part of. It wasn't so much an employee review, but it was basically looking at what I do and making sure I'm not stealing from the company.
Yep.
Not because I've been accused of doing that, but because these are things that companies do from time to time.
Yeah, especially bigger companies.
Some could call it an audit. I don't know. And so I had to sit in this meeting, and I got really, really stressed out.
We have a couple auditors in our audience.
Do we? Oh, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Things went fine. I don't know. I had no real reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
I don't do anything bad at my job, intentionally or not.
Non-auditors an idea what an audit is.
Basically,
I can give it to them.
Yeah, go for it.
Companies will hire outside accounting firms, normally public accounting. I think that's the impression I get, to come in and double check the work and make sure there's no money missing, and make sure everything is as good as they say it is. So, yep.
Anyways, and so I sat through all these meetings, and I got done around noon.
Mm-hmm. Noon.
And
nice.
it was about time for my lunch break, and I was just gonna sit at work and
did you get chicken squared?
Read my book and drink some water. But something sounded really good.
Tell me what sounds good.
And I've been doing so good all week. But
wait, can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I have 3 guesses?
You can have
but I'll have 3 guesses, but I'm only going to guess one thing.
Okay.
Coke Zero.
No.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Worse. I went to the gas station and...
Wait. A cigarette.
No.
Ooh.
That would have been better. And so I was stressed.
I got one more guess. Wait, I got to think of one more thing. Okay. An ice cream treat from the ice cream...
No.
Nope, okay.
So I was feeling pretty stressed. I had a stress headache by the end. My head was kind of pounding.
Mm-hmm.
Said, you know what would sound good right now? A big old spoonful of caffeine.
Oh.
So I went down to the gas station and I bought myself 2 Bang energy drinks.
Oh, no.
And drank one on the way back and drank the second one very soon after.
Oh. That doesn't help with stress, dude. Like,
it made me feel better. It made me feel better.
You have a problem, bro.
I do.
Yeah. It's okay. We all have problems.
So of all the things I could have done, Tim, and you mentioned some food, cigarettes. I could have gone to the store and gotten a tall beer and drank all of it before going back to work. I could have done that.
That might have made you feel better.
I'm not an idiot, though.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I am because I drank 2 Bang energy drinks in about an hour.
Some could argue that's worse, dude, than drinking a beer.
It definitely is. But it helped. I don't know how. It helped.
Got you through this Friday.
That probably says a lot about my mental health and illnesses I maybe have or don't have.
It doesn't say anything.
That caffeine is soothing. It's probably like an ADHD thing. Speeds up your prefrontal cortex a little bit, so it can
No. That's those. No. Yeah, you're speaking college words right now.
Do you understand? I don't understand brain chemistry, but
you're speaking college words here from a guy who just drank 2 Bang Energies. You are not that level, dude. You are white trash. I really. You think it's a mental health thing? I think it's where you came from.
Whoa, my parents weren't white trash. Come on.
The 2 Bang Energies you consumed today beg to differ.
Stop it. That's offensive.
You should have got the Camel Crushes, bro. That would have been a much classier move.
Gosh. It literally would have not been, Timon.
Nice.
Do you want to know what flavors I got?
Cotton candy.
No, sucks to suck. I'm not going to tell you now.
It was cotton candy.
No, it wasn't.
2 of them.
It wasn't.
That's the only flavor. I really don't know the flavors of Bang Energy.
They have a bunch of crazy flavors.
Really? Just flavors you wouldn't think.
Birthday cake.
Oh.
That's not one I got, but that's a flavor they have that I've had before. Guys,
doesn't sound like a good liquid.
You got to try these things. They're crazy. It's the pinnacle of what artificial flavoring can do. Okay. So the ones I got were black cherry vanilla.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
And candy apple crisp.
Just like my grandmother made in the trailer.
So
she would heat it up in the microwave. It was so good.
So the black cherry vanilla had a very, and I'm really shocked to be saying this, a pretty authentic cherry taste. Like, Timon, how much of a foodie am I?
Pretty foodie. Yeah, you like your food. You're really good.
It kind of tasted good.
Really? Wow.
That's
impressive. I'll take
it's
that.
really impressive.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Like, I get it. There's a stigma. I embrace the stigma. I am the white trash. But man, these artificial flavors are so crazy. And the second one I got, the candy apple crisp one, really kind of tastes like apples.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a crash? Did you feel like a crash during the day at all?
I imagine in about 25 minutes we will.
Nice. We can record it. We can film it.
No, not really. They kept me going the rest of the afternoon. This was at 1 p.m., by the way. Probably going to have a hard time sleeping tonight.
Yeah. Oh, well. It's Friday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Thankful for you guys. Thankful that you're tuning in and listening.
I hope your Friday is so good you don't have to binge consume 2 Bang energy drinks.
Or I hope your Friday is so awful that you do. How's that?
Okay.
That's right, dude. Fresh takes over here with Tim and Nims.
Okay.
Nice. Dude, my mom called me yesterday. And I'm not sure how I feel about this, but shout out to our newest listener, my mom, who listens to my podcast now daily. She told me that she is learning so much more about me than she would have ever expected. So
Guys, if you don't know Timon's mom,
she's so precious.
She's the best.
She's awesome.
She's amazing. Timon's mom is a great person. Great mom.
Big blessed is the best way to say it. She's been listening, and then
your dad's a great individual as well.
He's
great
solid.
Guy, great father. Yeah,
he's
you come from good stock. Your parents are phenomenal individuals.
Dude. It's weird to understand. Like, you don't realize. I now realize it, but it took me a while to realize. I mean, when you're in high school or whatever, you have great parents, but you don't realize the scope of what's out there in the world.
The value to that.
Yeah, and now I'm like, man, I'm so blessed. I understand how blessed I am. But my mom was a little worried about me. She asked if she could take me to the doctor this morning, last night when she called me. I told her no.
You've only been sick for like 4.5 days straight.
Yeah, no big deal.
5 days straight. That's not like a cause for concern.
Allergies. And she said she's just like, I don't. You're texting and you're talking on the podcast and you're just not you. Yeah.
I can vouch for that. Like, you were not yourself this week. No. It was weird.
It was great. Yeah. Some people said it was good content. I'll take it. I don't remember what I said. Who? Holly. She messaged me. She said it was really funny. Also, Allison told me that she really thought it was funny as well. Okay. And Jasmine did too. So all of the females. All 3 females out of our 30
Audrey,
listeners.
Audrey, we haven't heard from you. Was this week good content?
You know,
Elisa, we haven't heard whether this week is...
Dude, it's kind of cool that we have more than 10% of our listeners are female.
And that's all of them. Listeners, if you are
Jocelyn, when Ben listens,
who identifies as female and we did not say your name just now, let us know, and we would love to say your name.
Yes, we would love to. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. No, it's completely gone. It's completely gone.
You haven't been yourself.
And anyway, they were worried about. They asked me about the Grace College stuff. If I was just, kind of manic, or I'm like, they didn't know if I was joking or not. My mom didn't, and I just want to tell everyone now, here and now, going forward.
Kobe.
All right.
It's because I threw the can against a mountain. I aimed right for a mountain and threw it right at a mountain.
What I was gonna say, I forget what I was gonna say.
It's like when Kobe's helicopter crashed into that mountain and they all died.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get away from that subject. No, it's like
him, his pilot, his daughter, they all died.
Going forward, a
bunch of other people who apparently aren't important because no one ever told me who they were.
Yeah,
be careful who you hang around. You might end up being not important.
So we have questions, or
I think so.
Honestly, going forward, guys, anything I say is a joke. I just want to put that out there so you know that I'm never serious.
Yeah,
I'm really not.
Including that.
I didn't say that. Lincoln, on the other hand, is very serious and does not know the names of the other people died in the helicopter crash.
In the Kobe Bryant exclusive death helicopter crash.
His daughter died, I think.
I said Kobe's daughter.
Yeah. Do you have a conspiracy about that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll drop that.
I don't. I just.
Yeah. I don't know. It was because he was a successful black man. That's why he died.
Speaking of successful black people dying,
tell me about
Paul Mooney. Did you see that this week? Comedian Paul Mooney passed away.
Comedian Paul Mooney.
He was 79.
79.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Okay.
It's the guy on the Chappelle Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a comedian. His name was Paul Mooney.
Among things, yeah. I saw that. Made me sad.
I saw it for a little bit.
I don't really get sad when celebrities die, but I thought.
Will you be sad when Joe Rogan dies?
I literally just thought before I said that. I don't usually get sad when celebrity dies, but I imagine I'll be a little bit sad when Joe Rogan dies. Have you been listening to his podcast this week?
I have been.
Have you listened to the Whitney Cummings episode of his podcast this week?
Yep.
I thought it was so. Not to be a podcast that talks about podcasts, because if you don't listen...
We can do whatever we want, guys.
It's our podcast.
Nice.
So anyways, Joe Rogan had comedian Whitney Cummings on his podcast this week, and she was talking about something she really hates, which is illegal zoos that mistreat animals.
Oh, okay. She didn't talk about that.
She was discussing why she hated that so much, and part of the reason was that there is a direct correlation between like trafficking endangered species and trafficking humans.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Which I had never heard before. And I've just been thinking about that whole time, like thinking about Tiger King and
Whoa.
like all the players in that show. And
which one trafficked the most humans?
Like, was there a lot of
100%.
like human trafficking happening behind the scenes of all of that and stuff too? And so yeah, that's something I'm definitely interested in.
Carol Baskin would get tigers off the boat and Cubans off the boat.
And she lived
in Florida.
Tigers, and she had tiger food.
Tiger food. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, that was a really interesting fact when she said that. I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet.
I've been.
She also said that her mom's maiden name. I don't know what to trust on podcasting, but she said her obviously her dad's last name is Cummings, but her mom's maiden name was Cumming without the S. Like, what the heck?
So I knew we got these family friends, and their last name is Hughes.
Okay.
Some friends of my parents. But her maiden last name was also Hughes.
Oh, interesting.
Her name was Hughes before she got married.
There's a lot of that around here.
There's a lot of that's like a really common last name.
Miller. There's a lot of Millers that get married. They don't have to change it, or Yoders, or Bontraggers. I've seen that a lot.
They do change it. It's just the exact same word.
They do, but there's an E instead of an A. And that's how you know they're from this side of the family or that side of the family. Bontrager.
Okay. That was
something.
Yikes.
Nice.
Yikes.
Dude. Nice. Very nice.
I just thought that was crazy. I've been thinking about that all day.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I do love a good little Joe Rogan. A little Rogan. Sometimes. Sometimes it's good to switch it up. Aaron asks comments on our episode yesterday. Our favorite listener, Aaron. That's right, Aaron. We love you. He says, "Is Timon okay?" To which the answer is obviously no. Like, definitely not.
I think you're fine. You're okay.
He says, "The grocery store has me concerned. He needs rest." Aaron, you're right. I do need rest.
And yet you keep on like doing things.
Yeah. I mowed the lawn today.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, what?
Just like, let your body heal. Nah. It's doing a lot right now trying to let you not die.
I gotta milk the sickness as long as I can, dude.
Chill. Not die.
Milk it. The best content's happened while I've been sick, bro.
No.
And as you see, I'm drinking a Modelo, which Aaron told me earlier not to drink alcohol.
Does Modelo really count?
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad.
We're really sorry, Dad, about last Friday's episode. That one didn't turn out so good for a lot of reasons. Rough. Quality, audio,
alcohol,
getting a little crazy.
I was fine.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Aaron also asked, "Can we get some more marsupial facts?"
Oh, I have
a marsupial story.
I saw this earlier today.
Go for it.
And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna look up some marsupial facts to spout off on the podcast," and then I didn't.
Oh.
So I'm gonna make some up.
All right.
Marsupials. Did you know that only marsupials, they're the only mammals that can breathe underwater?
I did not know
Did you know that marsupials and also bats are the only mammals that can fly?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Did you know that marsupials exclusively were worshipped by ancient Indian cultures?
Did not know that.
All right.
Wow. That makes sense why they're like,
it doesn't.
The great possum in the sky is telling me to kill your clan.
Yeah. Did you know that all possums are white supremacists?
that I did know. Low key, I did know that. Okay. That makes sense, actually.
But never mind. I'll tell you later.
Nice. Can I tell you my marsupial story?
Yeah, you can.
So, Aaron.
Kangaroos are not marsupials.
They
might be.
Worked at a company.
They have a pouch. I want a pouch.
Do you want to keep talking, or are you going to let me talk?
I'm done.
Okay. Marsupials. I just don't trust you, dude. I have trust issues with Lincoln sometimes. I worked for a company I work for now, and when I was in Florida, one of my coworkers, she had 3 or 2 flying squirrels that she would actually work with. She had a little pouch. It was like a little purse, and they would just sit there and chill. And she would just have her little flying squirrels, which were marsupials, not from the United States. They're from South America, maybe. Are you on Instagram?
No. I'm listening.
You totally were on Instagram.
I was on Facebook. I'm listening.
You can't do that. Like, we're recording, bro. It's an active thing.
I know.
Like,
I can't.
Banter.
I can't because we're recording video.
Yeah, they can see you doing it.
I'm listening.
No, you're not.
I just like, what do I do? So you had this coworker in Florida who had some flying squirrels and a little thing that she had them in, and they were from North America. You make a white trash
joke just like I did with your bang energies, dude. You come with the good punches, dude. Come on.
So tell me more about these animals that are definitely not marsupials.
Dude, the flying squirrels are definitely, they have pouches. Dude, don't even. I know my facts.
Squirrels are mammals. Get the heck out of here.
Anyways, I held them one time and they peed all over me, Aaron. That was it. That's the story. Oh, also, if she wasn't holding them and you would like try to take the purse, or I mean, not like take it, like, hey, can I hold the flying squirrels for a bit? What's the deets? Tell me.
I'm looking.
They would hiss at you, and they would chatter a little bit too. So it was pretty interesting. So I spent a good year around some marsupials.
So
flying squirrels are marsupials. They have pouches.
Flying squirrels are placental mammals. Sugar gliders, on the other hand, are marsupials.
Okay, so was sugar gliders. I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
They were definitely sugar gliders.
But this whole time you've been saying flying squirrels.
Oh.
So which was
they're
it?
The same thing.
They're not. I literally just, oh my gosh, I just said they're not the same thing.
Okay, well, they're different, but the ones that she had were marsupials because they had pouches.
That's fine. Yeah. So they're sugar gliders.
And they peed on me. Yeah, they're sugar gliders, and they peed on me.
I've seen some of those around.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's my marsupial story. She made a big fact about how they were marsupials, and so that's how I knew they.
So you were wrong, and they were sugar gliders.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you say the words, I was wrong. Because in either case, they were flying squirrels, so flying squirrels are not marsupials, and therefore you were wrong about that. Or they were sugar gliders, which are marsupials, and you were wrong about them being flying squirrels. So, Timon, did you buy the dip yesterday?
I did.
I did too.
It feels good.
Man.
Feels good.
Feels good to invest in some fake money. And speaking of fake money, our listener, Alex, I almost said Alice. That's not a real person.
Oh, it'd be cool if we had a listener named Alice.
There's never been someone named that. So Alex says, Alice in Friday Wonderland? Question.
Okay.
Is Alice from Alice in Wonderland a real person, Timon?
I think she's based on something. Where did they get the name?
Have you seen that? Have you read that book? That's some crazy stuff, man.
Have you seen that
Have you seen that movie?
I've seen the book one time.
Have you seen any of the movies? The Disney movie, the weird movie that didn't make a lot of sense, or read the Lewis Carroll book?
I've lived the movie, dude. I've been sick.
Okay.
My favorite dream was the same.
I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. But speaking of cryptocurrency and fake money, Alex
What's up,
asks, Alex? Shout out to Alex, my friend.
Okay.
I think we're still friends. He goes,
He's still alive.
What does mining for Bitcoin mean? Yeah. My understanding of Bitcoin is that it is a digital currency and not a physical thing. What do people mean when they talk about mining for Bitcoin? This is a difficult question to answer, sort of.
So you get a pickaxe and you head to the hills and you just pick a spot where your heart feels like it and you just start mining on Minecraft and you get Bitcoin.
Do you think you could set up your computer in a manner that you could mine on Minecraft and that would
solve the algorithm?
Work the algorithm?
I don't know. That would be cool, though.
Yeah. So, do you want to answer this and butcher the answer, or should I answer this and butcher the answer?
So, I can try.
So,
you can try. It's like an algorithm,
right? A big math problem,
right? Because
that's all of what computing is. That's what coding is.
When you solve one of the math problems, then you're rewarded with an amount of currency,
a token,
and a token. And it started out really easy to solve, and now it's very, very, very complex.
The network has grown and become more complex.
Yep.
And so the process, and this is way simplified. Basically, you plug into the network, and you set up your computer to run
This program.
A program, basically,
to solve the algorithm.
You need a crazy computer, lots of big graphics cards that you can just replace and burn up. But basically, it's burning your electricity to maintain the network of transactions that is Bitcoin, and you are rewarded with a part of a Bitcoin. That's basically how it started. Is you're maintaining this network, and we're going to give you a little bit for the electricity you're burning, to keep our server going. Yep. If that makes sense.
What happens when all the Bitcoin's been mined? Does the network fail?
I don't think it'll ever be all mined, because it gets harder and harder and harder to mine the less there is.
It's supposed to be mined by like 2035 or 2040 or something.
You think so?
That's what they say.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Maybe not. We'll see.
We're at 18 million out of 21 million, so there's only less than 3 million Bitcoin left out there.
So, like, I'm really unqualified to answer this question.
I think we gave a good answer.
Take it,
Alex.
I can't tell you how a microwave really works. I can't tell you how your cell phone works. I can't tell you how Bitcoin works. But you still use all those things every single day. Maybe not your microwave.
Demonic influences is the answer to all.
There's just a lot of things in life you interact with daily that you can't really explain how they work completely.
Like photos, dude. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, how do photos work?
Or like, about that? Can you explain every intricacy of your automobile?
We use photos all the time. How does it work? Well, what the camera does is I looked it up. Prior to digital photos, what it did is it inversed and then like took a photo of all the light. It was weird. Mm-hmm. And then now what it does is there's a sensor, and when it sees that color, when it's pointing at it, it knows it's correlated to a certain type of pixel color, and then it recreates it. It's weird, dude. It's magic. It's low-key magic.
It's magic. Just like how screen printing is magic, because that's kind of
the same
that's
thing.
A little, not the same, but
similar though, kind of.
Aaron, in my mind, you know a lot about how a lot of things work, including pictures and like screen printing.
Our listener, Aaron.
Yeah, and artistic things like that. And he's probably screaming at his device in which he is listening to us right now.
Can I scream at Aaron for a little bit?
Maybe later.
Okay. I want to.
But with screen printing, you print off your image on a transparent slide, and you put it on your screen, and then you put on the it's a cream that reacts to light. What's it called? Shoot.
Light cream.
But anyway, and then you expose the whole thing to UV light for a few hours, and it hardens the cream, and you spray it. And so basically, that's how like pictures.
Maybe
work.
It's called hard cream.
I think so.
See, dude, if I was on Facebook, I wouldn't have those gems.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Can I scream at Aaron real quick?
Yeah.
Aaron, I want your sourdough, bro. I really want some of your sourdough. I was eating my soup the other day, the one that Lincoln talked about, and how delicious it smelled. And it called for crusty bread, and I got some bread, and it was okay. But, man.
Was it crusty enough?
I feel like Aaron's bread would be crustier. And I was thinking about what could I do.
In like a good way, though?
Like a real good way. Like if I could roll down to wherever he lives, Indiana, and just stop by and grab a loaf someday. Can we coordinate that? Obviously, when I'm not sick, I'd love to do that.
Timon, we need to talk about something.
Okay.
That we haven't talked about yet this week. That happened last weekend.
Oh, we haven't.
What bread product did we make this weekend? This past weekend?
Oh, dude,
we made some biscuits,
bro. Those biscuits were so good.
I've done a fair amount of cooking. I think I've done some cooking. I've done some baking.
He's cooked a little here. He's cooked a little there.
I don't know. I like cooking. It's fun. And
should I throw this?
If you want to, yeah.
Kobe.
Crap. I thought that was going to shatter. I didn't think you were actually going to throw that glass bottle. So anyways, I've done some cooking. I liked making cakes in high school and like decorating them and using like fondant and stuff. And,
bake some cakes.
Other cooking since then. But one thing I've never actually made were like from scratch like proper like biscuits where you get the ingredients together and you like cut in the butter when it's cold.
Yep.
Just like some like real pastry activity, some pastry stuff. Yeah.
If Matt Melendez listens, he knows what we're talking about.
But this past weekend you're like, yo, Lincoln, I'm thinking about making X, Y, and Z, but with some biscuits.
I was. Can I give you the backstory on that?
Yeah, give me the backstory.
I, like a week ago, Allison and I had some, I don't know, it might have been like some from like just fast food biscuits and sausage. I told Allison, someday I would love to have like make buttermilk biscuits and then grill the sausage and have my own biscuits and sausage, like the best you could have. Mm-hmm. And I said, why do I have to think about someday when it can be this weekend? So I bought some buttermilk and hence where we're at.
So we're hanging out, and I one of two things happened. Either you would ask for help,
well,
or
I asked you, but you wanted to get some wings.
I wanted
okay.
I wanted to get some wings because I'm not trying to eat a bunch of. Oh my gosh,
dude,
guys! Okay. Brother Man Phil is calling. I'm gonna pick up.
Brother Man Phil.
Hey, hey Phil, you're on the podcast. What's going on?
Hey, I had a question for you specifically.
Okay.
Have you ever gone somewhere to get your spark plugs changed?
No.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Are you having car probs?
Well, yeah, but I went to a place and he quoted me, and I wanted to know if it was a good price or not.
Just to change your spark plugs?
Well, I mean, spark plugs and the caps and everything.
Like a little tune-up?
Where'd you go, Phil?
A place called Yarrow's?
No, you should go to Ian's, bro.
So, we'll shoot you the number of our mechanic. What did they quote you to like tune up your truck?
It was a little over $400. That's parts and labor.
Yeah, it's probably like hundreds. I guess I'd have to see like the bill to see what parts he's getting. If it's like plugs, wires, the like cap and rotor, like I could plus like an hour of labor. It's a little spicy, but like
not too spicy,
in the ballpark of what's acceptable. I'll send you the number for our mechanic Ian, who's like a pretty solid dude.
He's a bro.
He's helped out Timon. He's helped out me. He's helped out like a bunch of other people.
Yeah, he's such a bro.
So I'll shoot you his number after this if that's cool.
Also, I feel like I didn't get it across last time. I'm mad at Timon.
Why are you mad at Timon?
You get what?
Because the advice he gave me to reply to that girl, she just unmatched me.
Yeah, I'm mad at Timon too. Hey, I heard you about a bicycle.
I did.
Sick. We should hang this weekend so I can like tune it up for you so it rides real good. Is that cool? Can I do that?
That'd be a good idea. Mostly because I rode it to the Goshen Brew Company last night and the brakes went out and old Phil had a little accident.
Yeah, we'll get it straightened out. Hey, I got to get back to this podcast. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Love you, Phil.
Love you too.
Bye.
Love you, Phil.
I said love you too. I love it.
I love it when Phil calls.
He's so good.
So we made biscuits.
Yeah, we made biscuits, and they were awesome.
And I've done a lot of things, but as far as like mixing up the flour and the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt, and then cutting in the cold cubed butter and not melting it.
It was awesome.
And developing, really.
Listeners,
the
biscuits slapped.
They were pretty good biscuits.
They were so good.
A pretty good first attempt. The oven was a bit too hot, I think.
You think so? We're going to do biscuits again sometime.
We can do biscuits again soon. We should get some advice from our baker friend, Matt.
Yeah. Or Aaron, if Aaron has tips too.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
We have several baker listeners. Aaron, Matt.
We have auditors and we have bakers.
If you would like to send us your baker tips, I had to work in a little bit more butter than they called for just because the dough was just not coming together.
Yeah.
But I did.
I think that turned out well though.
They were pretty tasty. They were. I could tell they were a little too buttery though.
You think so?
They weren't quite as flaky and quite as. They could have been drier, I think.
Oh yeah.
In like a good way.
In a good way.
I also mixed in some raw honey. Just I don't know.
Dude,
I was vibing.
I was vibing.
I was jamming. It was a good time.
In return for Lincoln baking me these biscuits, all I had to do was go pick up his wings. It was actually a really good
It was a really fair trade because I loved making biscuits.
He spent time baking them, and then I went and drove and picked up some wings. It was really easy.
Since I don't eat a lot of carbs, I don't get a good excuse to make biscuits or anything like that. And so
you can carb me up anytime, Daddy. Let's go.
Okay, it was a lot of fun. We can bake some bread sometime. I feel like that'd be a good time.
That'd be fun. I'd love some crusty bread from Aaron, sourdough style.
I would, as good as some artisanal crusty bread would be. I feel like it would be fun to make a very nice like sweet wheat loaf, just like a good PB&J kind of bread,
Yeah,
a nice soft. I feel like that'd be a fun challenge.
Yeah, Yeah, Wonder Bread, but like good.
Yeah, because a lot of like how you make the bread develops the air pockets inside of the bread, and so a lot of people say the more uniform, like the quote better. You know, if you some bread has real big air pockets and little, and just like how much you work the gluten kind of affects that.
Nice.
Our baker listeners out there again are screaming at their devices of the misinformation I'm spreading. Sorry. I'm doing my best.
Let's change the subject. You are all about working the gluten. I'm all about working the glutes. Been doing squats and
have you? Nice. I noticed. I'm kidding.
Thanks, dog.
I think I'm gonna go for a big bike ride on Saturday.
Big bike ride. You should, dude.
I think so. I think Saturday morning.
I'm also doing a semi. It'll be an average bike ride for me.
Crap.
22.1 miles.
This is some inside business here. Was Allison gonna ride one of my bikes?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think she's gonna use her dad's bike.
Let me know. I can untinker the things I was tinkering tonight.
I'll chat with her.
Use it.
Okay, you're good.
Sick.
Do we have questions? We should probably get to those.
Yeah, we have more questions. Thanks, Alex, for your question. We didn't really. I don't know. I feel like we answered it. Maybe we didn't.
We did. Bitcoin mining. We explained exactly what it was, dude. Go into Minecraft, get yourself, hit some of those freaking bricks of wood, dude, and then turn it into a crafting box. Pop that crafting box onto the ground. Make some sticks. Then take the wood that you already made, make them into logs, dude, and then put the sticks with the logs. Make the
diamonds, obsidian, ender pearls,
and Bitcoin. Exactly. Yep. All right, other questions.
From our listener, Jay.
How you doing, Jay? You all right? You okay?
I think Jay's been more all right than you've been this week.
He probably has been. He
asks if crypto is dead. I don't think so. Jay, is Bitcoin dead? Sorry, he asks if Bitcoin is dead.
Jay, I don't think so. Like, we've seen. No, I don't think so.
Hopefully you bought the dip.
Jay went down, and now it's gone back up, and that's where we're at right now.
All right, next question.
Yes, sir.
He asks, whose Dear Slim is better, Tom McDonald or KJ52? So I know KJ52 has a song addressed to Eminem.
You know who Tom McDonald is?
No.
I know who Tom McDonald is.
I don't. I meant to listen to both. And
He's
Jay,
the non-PC rapper.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So we don't know. Both these rappers have songs that address the real Slim Shady, Eminem. I think.
Yes.
Some dude named Marshall.
Thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on Eminem, real quick?
Trailblazer.
Yeah, I think he's so weak, dude. He used to be great. Now he's so weak. The greats have fallen, bro. His old stuff. Oh my gosh. His old stuff when he.
You know what Slim song I like a lot?
Tell me which one.
No, you tell me which one.
Oh, the Mom Spaghetti one.
No.
I have no clue.
Come on, we've listened to this song before. Come on.
I have no clue.
You know. It's like a song from like the early 2000s.
I have no, dude. I'm
sick.
I'm sick, bro.
It's that one song about his one fan.
Oh,
Stan.
Stan. Yeah. So the thing about Eminem, I'm gonna get a look because how you are about bikes, I'm probably that about Eminem.
What do you mean? A fan of, like, really, like, know a lot about?
Like, very knowledgeable about the subject.
Sick. Go for it.
I tinker with Slim Shady. I don't know. No,
yeah.
But he was part of the D12. I think it's D12, which was a group before he became Slim Shady, and then he did Marshall Mathers, the LP Marshall Mathers, and before he even blew up, and it was he had some like stuff like OG stuff, and that stuff is fire, bro. It's super fire. He has one song where he takes his girlfriend at the time, ties her up, puts her in the trunk, and him and his daughter are chilling, and then he kills her. It's just like, but the storytelling is pretty graphic, and you can feel the anger and hatred. Like, this is in the middle of while he's dealing with his wife or girlfriend, dealing with just like the crap he's dealing with, his mom, and you can just hear the
you know, Timon, I never knew the backstory behind the song Stan. I didn't realize that the fan did those things to be like Slim.
Yeah, he replicated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Why didn't you ever tell me that when we listened to that song before?
It didn't come up.
It came up now?
Yeah. So
yeah,
OG Slim Shady is pretty
to
crazy.
our listeners who are Gen Z, who who might not know about the
Jay
song
Hinkle.
"Stan,"
Mm-hmm.
that's where the
backstory comes from.
That's where that term comes from. I stan something. You're a big fan of? Yeah, I stan it.
Something. Yeah, big fan. That's really interesting. I'll tell you this. I probably would like the Tom McDonald more than the KJ52 because I think KJ52.
Do you know that song?
I have heard it. I haven't heard the Tom McDonald one.
Okay.
We'll
listen to him afterwards.
Yeah, the thing about KJ52 and all of the Christian rappers, dude, I hate Christian rappers. From high school till now, I've disliked Christian rappers. I listened to Lecrae in 9th grade, and that's where he stayed for me. Never listened to him after that.
How you feel about Christian rappers is how I feel about most Christian music. It's just not as good, right?
It's not as good.
It's just not as good.
Can I tell you my favorite Christian rapper?
You may.
Kanye West. But for real, dude, his whole gospel album is so much better because he was already a musician, and then he brought like a Christian tint to it. And it was so solid. I think a lot of Christian rappers take the name of Christianity to sell their rap albums because they're subpar. And Christians take it because it's
a market that there's not a lot of supply to meet the demand.
Yeah.
Because at one point there was a huge demand for Christian music because people used to be a little more strict, so Christian parents would not let
there was
kids.
No internet back then, so they could kind of filter what came in and came out.
And so, like, you look at the institutions like Family Christian Bookstore and that whole thing, like, for a long time, and that's, like, the Christian music scene exploded because of that, and it has since waned because of the internet, and you have access to everything.
Right, and also, like, the devices, like, you can listen to music on anything now.
It's not a CD that your parents are going to find.
When I'm bored and I'm freaking pumping my gas, I can choose what song I want to listen to from the gas station. Freaking little, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. But you can listen to it so many different ways, and you have headphones now that are like really small and conspicuous. Because you couldn't really get away with not listening to music. I mean, you could, but it was a lot more difficult.
It was different, yeah. There was definitely like a physical thing,
but. Knowing Tom McDonald, his music he's not a Christian, but he's just a musician, and so that's why I think his stuff might be better than KJ52. I already hate KJ52 before this conversation was brought up. So yeah, Jay, without even listening to Tom McDonald's verse, I probably think his is much better than KJ52. That's my personal opinion.
I didn't listen to a lot of rap in high school, so the only KJ52 song that I'm familiar with, and it's not even a KJ52 song. It's a Super Chick song, the song Barlow Girls. He raps a little bit on, and that's the only exposure I've really ever had to KJ52 because I never liked rap in high school. So I don't know much about KJ52. I knew he had a song.
You and possums have a lot in common.
Yeah, we both don't really like rap. I'm more into rap nowadays, but it's not my choice genre.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's actually a pretty solid question, Jay. I don't know where that one came from, but like
we're thankful for it.
It's pretty cool. And then he says, "To whom it may concern."
Okay,
that's it. So this is the name of an Under Oath album. I imagine he's referencing the fact that I recently just got a new vinyl record in the mail that I purchased last July, and it arrived.
And Jay came and watched that concert with you during the purchase,
right? One of our favorite bands, Under Oath, did some COVID live streams.
One of you and Jay's favorite bands. Let's clarify.
You like him. You like him too.
I can't even. Who to may concern is the only name of one Under Oath song I know. I didn't even think I butchered that right there.
So this band, Under Oath, they holler. They scream a little bit.
They hoop and holla.
Yeah, it's rowdy.
They
did some COVID live streams, and Jay and I watched one of them. But a part of that was they were re-releasing some of their music on vinyl,
old stuff.
And I was never able to purchase this album on vinyl because they had a super limited run the first time they pressed it.
Yeah, six total.
And so all of the copies on eBay were like $200, and it just was not worth it to me. But they were repressing them, and the cost was $15.
Oh, I would have bought one.
So I bought one, and it took almost a year to get here, and it's a terrible quality record.
Oh, is it really?
It does not sound super good.
That sucks.
It sounds fine. It's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm glad I own it. It's one of my favorite albums. I wrote a lot of papers to this album in college. Just listened to it on repeat. It's a genre-defining historical album.
Nice.
So,
does he have any other questions?
No.
No. Do we have any more other questions? I'm good on my side. Do you have any questions on your side? Anything else?
I'm looking. Alex left me a voicemail.
We can listen to that later.
I haven't listened to it. our listener Brian sent us a meme.
Oh.
And it says, birds have legs. Legs spelled backward is sail. And it stands for government drones are real. Spread the word. Says conspiracy theorist.
Brian, I am also a conspiracy theorist. Everything I see is a conspiracy. Let me tell you that. So, yep, birds aren't real. I think we talked about that.
I told him the truth is dangerous.
Nice.
Are we ready for...
I lied. I have one question. And it's from me.
Okay.
Lincoln, what is your earliest memory?
So I have a couple, and they are very much event oriented. I remember some birthday parties really early on.
Okay.
Our family used to have pretty big birthday parties. Like,
how old do you think you were when you remember this?
We would share. Okay, so let me unpack the story. That way, I can kind of remember and give you an age that I think I was.
Unpack it.
My brother Alex and I have birthdays that are like a week apart. His birthday is the end of March and mine is the beginning of April. So about a week apart. So oftentimes growing up, we would have one birthday party for the both of us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense. My mom would make two separate cakes.
Oh, okay.
So we each had it was nice.
Yeah.
So lots of positive memories regarding birthdays. And my brother was...
That right there tells me you're not trailer trash. Keep going.
My brother was a big fan of Star Wars, and he had like a lot of Star Wars action figures. And he was about the age in which it was appropriate to be very into Star Wars action figures. Yeah. So like 12 or 13.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know. They were the cool ones.
Yeah.
The lightsabers and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was probably like...
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was before my dad had passed away. He passed away when I was 6, so it might have been when I was 4 or 5.
Okay, 4 or 5.
This specific birthday. But we had a cake and the Star Wars figure. The cake, it was like a chocolate cake, and like the Star Wars character Luke and Darth Vader were fighting, and those were like the cake topper decoration things.
That's cool. That's so cool.
And so I remember that one. We went to Disneyland also before my dad passed away. And I think I was 3 or 4.
Okay.
And so I remember a few things. I remember being really scared on the E.T. ride. And also, like, there was like a Beetlejuice show / like musical thing that you go to a music park and you watch. Yeah. I don't know. And I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember like the condo that we stayed in. But all really vague memories.
Big events.
Enforced by lots of family photos as well. So I'm not sure they're real.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're real.
Because you remember yeah, that's interesting.
But like a lot of my really early memories surround my dad's funeral. Because I was 6 when he passed away, and that's pretty young. And so so like a lot.
That's pretty impactful. Do you think that like wiped out a lot of past memories too? Maybe
trauma tends to do weird things to the mind. I don't know. I remember we went to Six Flags, also before my dad passed away. And so I remember that trip a little bit. So what's your earliest memory?
No, I like this.
No, that's
good.
Those are mine.
So I have kind of 2 different ones. A fun fact about Timon: I was not born in Indiana. I was born on Mars. Kobe, and
right into the side of a mountain.
Nice. And my earliest memories actually are all in Indiana, but I moved here when
that beer got warm.
Like a year and a half, maybe. I was like 18 months to 2 years old when we moved into Indiana, so that makes sense. Earliest memory, I remember walking into our old house. So we had this old house that lived like in the really crappy part of Goshen. And they had all these windows. They were very crappy. I used to get like rocks thrown at me. Like trailer trash. Well, I was in trailer trash heaven, bro. I remember people throwing rocks at me, bro, because I was riding my bike. And I was only allowed to ride around 1 block. Mm-hmm. Up until I was 8. My mom would not allow me to ride anywhere than 1 block. She wanted me back in the house within a minute. She's like, you can ride, but I need to see you every minute because that's where we live.
Can I interject here? We lived out in the country, and we couldn't ride our bikes on the road.
Oh, really? Because of just how crazy people were.
Yeah, so like
that could be part of it too.
Same.
Yeah. The memory I have is I think Christmas, and I think I was 3 because I remember walking in and seeing a Christmas tree. Mine are these like glass windows. We had kind of like you could see out into the street, the front street. I could also remember my dad tacking on plastic to those windows because it was winter.
To insulate, keep the cold air from blowing in. Yep.
And then I know there's a memory like a little bit past that I was sitting on the top of our house, not in the top room. I wasn't on the house. I was in the top room, but it was like basically the peak. You know, it was middle of the day, and my little sister and I, so she was probably like 2, I was probably 4. Mm-hmm. We were blasting our favorite whatever tape that
KJ52.
KJ52 out to everyone on our street. And we were like,
but that was annoying.
and this is what I remember, bro. And I remember like blasting it, and then like, and now a request from our favorite person, and then we just played on repeat. So for like 3 hours, we played the same song over and over. We thought we were DJ artists or DJs for radio, and we just kept on playing the same song over and over and over again.
That's fun.
But yeah, I think, dude, honestly, I think I was like 2 or 3 when it was, because we just moved into the house. My earliest memory, so I was probably like 2 or 3, dude. So.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to differentiate between like actual early childhood memories and like seeing like the home videos.
Some of that.
We had some home videos, and I've seen them from when I was a kid. I definitely remember.
Some of these are like I have very distinct memories that were not caught on home video that are stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I have like one time my dad and I walked around the perimeter of our house. And again, I was probably like 3 or 4, dude. I wasn't super old. We moved when I was 7 from that house, and we were looking for mice because they would go up. There was like concrete for 2 feet, and then the siding, and we would see their little tails, and so we would take a plier and grab them and kill them. I remember that. I remember playing Narnia on the back, like freaking concrete slab in the back of our house. So yeah, dude, I remember all these little things that I don't think were recorded. I think my dad started recording later on, and I remember seeing some of those stuff, but like I have memories pre-recording, which is kind of cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I remember a lot of holidays. I remember having Easter at our old house.
Yep.
And like some Christmases. I remember a lot about the Christmas after my dad passed away.
It's pretty significant.
My aunt and uncle, my mom has a sister who's 16 years younger than her.
Yeah, she kind of hangs with you.
Yeah, like, she was always the cool aunt. I mean, all of my aunts and uncles are the cool aunt and uncles, but she and her...
Did you drink with her at some point recently?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
In the past
she's the homie.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Suzanne. Shout out to Suzanne. But I remember she and her first husband had come over for Christmas and Christmas evening and Christmas Eve and to like hang out with us and open presents and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And we got this big Connects roller coaster that year, and it was the first one they made because they made a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And so I remember them spending all Christmas Day putting it together, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And my parents still have all those Connects and like the box and stuff, and now my nieces and nephews play with all those toys.
Sounds like we need to swing over and grab those Connects, dude. Let's build a roller coaster.
I don't want to like take them from there, but if you want to go and play with Legos and Connects at my parents' house sometime, we can definitely do that.
Let's go. I love it. All right, that I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, man, I think that would be a good question. So
yeah. So our former sponsor, potential future sponsor, Golf Lessons with John, sent us some voice recordings.
Oh, John, we're gonna have to do that. Do we just want to play them? Play it. Just play it.
Oh boy.
Get hit.
Nope, nothing on that one.
So here's an interesting question that I'll try to make quick. So I had a friend of mine give me some collectible cards that he didn't want to have anymore for me to sell, for me to make all money. But one of the conditions was, he said he wanted me to not go to a card store and sell them at a card store. But right now I'm talking with another friend to see if he might want to buy some of those cards, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. Now, I could do what my first friend said and try to sell all these things online and, nickel and dime everything. Or I could just go to a card store and sell them in bulk, and, not get as much money, but just get rid of the cards. What do you guys think I should do? For reference, market price for these cards is around $3,000.
Ooh.
So I'm really tempted to just sell them to a store just to get rid of them. My one friend is being really slow about cards he wants, and I don't want to sell these cards online because it'll take like 6 months.
Yeah.
And be really annoying because I'll have to mail everything every time.
Which will cut into your profit a little bit.
Okay. That was John. A little quiet. I'm gonna just summarize the question. A friend of John's gave him some cards.
Yep.
And said, "I don't want these. Can you sell them and you can keep the money?" Am I extrapolating there? Is that?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Basically, you can sell them and you can keep the money, but I don't want you to sell them to a card store. So essentially, right. I want you to sell them to people who actually want them, not someone who's going to flip them for a profit.
Interesting.
And John is asking, so what do I do? Do I sell them online? I'm really tempted to sell them to a card store.
Just make
the value is significant. He said nearly $3,000.
He's got a buddy who wants to buy some, but is
he's kind of dragging his feet a little bit. It sounds like he doesn't really want them.
Yeah. Dude, I got pee. Can we pause?
We can pause.
Okay.
We'll answer this question right in a minute. And we're back.
Yeah. Man. That felt good. Okay, so, John, that's a really good question, Loki. That's difficult because, well, all right, so here's what I want to say. In nonprofit accounting, this is something I learned at Grace College. When you're a nonprofit and someone gives you something and they delegate it to one specific thing, you have to take that thing and apply it to the thing that they designated. So when someone says, hey, I would like you to do this XYZ with my money or assets or whatever, then you need to, then as a nonprofit, you have to actually do that. But John, you're not a nonprofit, bro. So you can kind of do whatever you want. But here's the other thing about waiting and selling those cards via, online. It may cost a little bit, but you might actually get more money. And the value goes up because there's only X amount of cards out there and time keeps on, there's only X amount out there and people probably want it. I assume it just gets more valuable.
I can see how this task is overwhelming.
Sounds a little daunting. Honestly, you might hybrid it. Like, take the really good cards and sell them online, and then the bad cards just sell to a shop. You know what I'm saying?
I think part of the answer and solution is some communication with your friend, because you did tell your friend who gave you these cards for free that you would not sell them to a shop. And so I think some communication with him. I think hybrid is the solution. Otherwise, you're never going to sell these cards.
Yeah.
You could sell in bulk via online. You could put together a package on eBay of all these, like, here's 50 cards for X amount.
Right.
And have varying levels of value, You could do something like that. I think talking to your buddy about how this task is overwhelming you, and maybe if you can't sell them to a shop and he doesn't really want you to do that, just give them back to your friend. If you can't really sell these, he's just burdening you with a task that's going to take forever to do.
Right. Well, another thing too is I think they're Magic cards. That's the assumption I have.
You think so? You think they're not sports ball cards? You think they're Magic cards?
I think they're Magic cards.
You think they're Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No, I think they're Magic.
Do you think they're Dragon Ball Z cards?
No.
Do you think they're Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I know a little something about Magic cards too, which is really interesting. Again, niche thoughts. Like, I have niche ideas about different things. So Magic cards, Magic the Gathering is this card game, and they've gone woke. So there's certain cards that say, black magic or things like that.
And now they just call them Magic?
They've actually removed them from the game. So these cards are actually way more rare because the OG Magic, which, like, what was something from 80s, 90s, or even prior to that, 70s. I don't know how long it's been around. It's been around for a minute.
I know there's some real value associated with Magic cards. It's been around for a long time. There's a lot of people into it.
Fun fact, the first cryptocurrency exchange was a Magic the Gathering. That's how they traded Bitcoin.
I remember I've seen some ads as far as like Magic the Gathering tournaments. First prize $100, second prize $25, third prize 30 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
from like 2009, 2010. Like, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. So
John,
maybe a hybrid. That would be my answer.
Yeah, could you sell a bulk? Could you sell off the valuable cards and then like bulk packs on like eBay or something like that? It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like your buddy's not super interested, because when you want to buy something and there's something of value you want, you just go and get it. You just do it.
Right.
You don't mess around with the person on Facebook Marketplace for a couple days, hawing. Like, if you really want something, you just go and get it.
Right. Yeah, I think also, John, you're not a nonprofit, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
But like you told your buddy, you wouldn't sell them to a shop, and so you should probably honor that. Or at least try your best, and maybe if you can't sell some of them, go back to your buddy and say, "Hey, I've sold a bunch of cards. Here's a box I just can't get rid of. What do you want me to do with these?"
Here you go. Good luck.
Either I sell them to a shop or I just give them back to you.
I don't know. You could soak all the cards in kerosene and
you could throw them away.
Light them on fire.
You could throw them away. Yeah.
Use that black magic. Oh
my
gosh, can't believe I said black. Okay, what else do we have?
We need to do Fat or Future.
Let's finish it up, boys. Let's get this.
All right.
Fat or Future. You want to roll it?
Yep.
Hey, Timon and Lincoln. Your Fat or Future of this week is Patreon. Most YouTube channels, most podcasts advertise that you can get additional content on their Patreon. They always make it sound super enticing and tease what you could get if you paid for it. Even you teased about getting a Patreon, but now you've been paying us. I think I like that way better. But do you think that Patreon can actually live the test of time of people paying additional money for content from these people?
Oh, Elisa, good question.
Hey, Elisa, great question.
Again, thank you for doing the work to submit that. I really respect that.
She crushes.
You made yourself a theme song. You record this every week. This is incredible.
Can I tell you a fun fact about Elisa right now?
You may.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. This past week, they've been in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have not been at their home. So
on vacation.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. That's why I love our listeners, bro.
She's better at podcasting than we are.
Sick.
Because we would just skip.
Sick.
We would just skip.
Yeah, we would do our Dungeons and Dragons episode, which we recorded 17 months ago. We're ready to release it.
I really enjoyed doing those D&D episodes. Those were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do one again someday soon. I know the listeners don't hope so because those do terrible.
We don't care, though.
We don't care.
It's our podcast.
It's our podcast. It's not your podcast. And speaking of our podcast, questions about Patreon. What do you think, Timon? You think we should address this one on our Patreon?
You guys can catch this answer on our Patreon. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. Should we answer? She did so much work, and she was on vacation.
So content behind a paywall like Patreon. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think Patreon's going to last, but I think OnlyFans is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that is.
OnlyFans?
Yeah, what's
that? If people are fans of something, then they pay for it. What's really interesting, too, is for podcasting, Spotify and Apple have also rolled out a subscription-style podcast, kind of like Patreon, but it's not inside the Patreon bubble. I think Patreon was the first one to the scene. I think they're big, but they've also ticked off a lot of people too,
because they have rules regarding their platform.
Yeah, which aren't very defined well.
Inconsistent rules.
Inconsistent, yeah. I don't think Patreon's gonna last. That's my personal opinion. But
do you think it'll integrate into YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform that is already existing?
I think it's already happening
on a paywall.
On other, I think there'll be a Spotify Patreon, paywall. But it's gonna be.
But Spotify you already have to pay. You already have to pay for Spotify,
right? But if you want, they have it so that you can pay an extra onto the Spotify, and then you get
exclusive
a subscription to
exclusive content behind a paywall. Yeah, I don't hate having a little bit of a paywall. I've done like some Kickstarters. I don't think I've done like a Patreon thing.
To answer her question, I think it is the future, but I don't think Patreon is the future. I think we'll see other stuff. Because the problem with Patreon is this. You can't, maybe I don't know Patreon very well, so I can't really speak, but it would be nice to have like 5 cents or a fraction of a cent.
So it's cheaper.
Yeah, because it's like, you have to do, I think the cheapest is $1, which is okay, but I would love it if someone paid like a fraction of a cent for one episode, and then you can scale up when you have 100,000 listeners. That turns into $10,000, and they don't mind paying a fraction of a cent because it's a fraction of a cent. Like I would pay a fraction of a cent for someone.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot with our podcast, and again, putting the cards on the table, talking inside baseball. If we were to integrate some sort of like paywall and content, what's the least we could charge for it?
Right.
I think that's been a conversation we've had a bunch of times. Like per month, could we charge $3 a month for something and put out some extra episodes and do some other things? I don't like the podcast we do already is pretty like, I feel like this is like Patreon content already, just because it's super informal. It's just us talking. It comes out 5 times a week.
Right.
Man, we do a lot of podcasting.
We do.
We have for a long time now. This is crazy.
What's been fun this week is we've done a podcast every single day.
That's what we always do.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it is the future, Elisa. I just don't know if Patreon is the one that's the future. I think that's what you ask. Like, that's the answer to a lot of the questions you ask. Like, yeah, seltzers are going to be around, but I think we're going to see one seltzer, a couple seltzers, not the expansive world we're living with seltzers. Just to be an example.
But I think White Claw is the seltzer of the past and also the future.
Yeah, but I don't think
because
Patreon's
the past is the future.
I don't think Patreon's the future.
So?
I think we're going to see other stuff, and it's going.
Do you think iTunes is the future, where you just pay 5 cents for a podcast episode on iTunes,
or like a cent,
like an Apple Store thing? You know what I mean?
Kind of cool.
I don't know.
That's what they're doing. Apple and Spotify are doing their own stuff where it's like a subscription to access extra episodes. So, good question. Solid question.
Solid
Thanks,
question.
Lisa. We appreciate it. Should we wrap it up?
We should.
Our time has come, guys.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else we need to mention?
We're so thankful
as
for
we
you.
Close out this episode.
You've been here with us.
You want me to read some emails?
I'm okay with that.
Strava. Dream bigger. How big will...
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in another podcast with us. Thanks for your questions. Have a wonderful weekend, right?
It will soon be the weekend.
Yep. Sub to us on YouTube and like our pages on social medias, Twitter and Instagram.
If you're on Twitter, go ahead and follow the account. It's the one where they tweet Daniel Craig saying,
The Weekend.
The Weekend. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good one.
If you're on YouTube, drop us a comment. If you've made it this far, say, what should they say? What would be a fun thing for them to say on YouTube? You don't know? You're looking up The Weekend
I'm
stuff.
looking at Twitter. Oh, did you see that?
Say, Lincoln, get off your Facebook.
President Biden signs an anti-Asian hate crimes bill into law. So that's crazy. Do you think he knows? Anyways, have a good weekend. Go do some things. Go not do some things. Make some biscuits. Hang out. Do whatever you want. Just make sure you tell us about it.
Lincoln, get off your phone. That's what you should say on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Okay,
let us know what you're doing this weekend so we can talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your weekend.
Wait. What's your guys' first memory? I think that would be a really good question to know from you.
What is your earliest memory? I'm not going to read into it. That's a really loaded question. You can there are a lot of indicators. There's a lot of stuff that early memories are kind of like a sacred topic a little bit when it comes to things. So if you don't feel free to share,
you remember but if it's something awful, we want to hear it.
we're all friends here.
We want the drama.
We're all friends here. We're not going to analyze anything. Just what's your earliest memory? I'm curious.
We will roast you so hard.
Oh my gosh. We'll say, and that's why the way you are is the way you are.
Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.